Welcome to Deepnight Revelation. We'll be picking up where we left off last week. These guys have discovered a planet, well, an entire system, really. And they've got a mining operation going on at a high density terrestrial, hoping to get materials for much needed materials and exotic materials for doing their overhaul of all of their small craft that they found are getting a little long in the tooth as far as flight hours goes. And so they're spending some time in the system. The other planet, the third planet in the system, has been nicknamed DTP by one of the sensor operators, which stands for Death Trap, probably. And on DTP, it is a very lush world. It is, I suppose you could call this a garden world. It is uh, very lush jungles, marshlands, lots of water, and they decided to explore an area called the High Valley that has been kind of locked off from the rest of the continent by what at first appeared to be a landslide. And when they get in there, they discover that this is in a bowl. It is surrounded by mountains, very rugged terrain. And the bowl, in the middle of the bowl, is a big lake, and there's a big lush jungle forest in there. And they discovered a number of interesting things. First, the thing that they discovered was that the landslide was not just a natural disaster. Somebody way back, probably 150,000 years ago, lit off at least one, maybe two, uh, thermonuclear devices in the several megaton range, and collapsed the mountain in and sealed this thing off. The other thing that they discovered is that in the middle of this lake, there are three man made islands. That at one time there was one to three cities located, or one city that was connecting these different islands. And now, of course, it's all in ruins. But living in the ruins, they discovered a hominid that is of some intelligence, who is basically just named myself, because that's all he he doesn't talk. He grunts and points and pats to himself, and so he is myself. And ape man genius. And he, like I said, he is intelligent, not educated, but he is intelligent, um, kind of a natural intelligence. And he has essentially convinced them that there is um, something that he wants to show them in the forest. And he points up towards the mountains. And before taking them into the forest, he insisted that all of them are armed. He armed them with stone-tipped spears, and made several gestures implying that there were things in the forest that would attempt to kill them. And so that is where they are heading. That's where we left off. Before we get started, we'd like to bring attention to the fact that we do have a merch store via Zazzle. We've got t-shirts and buttons and hoodies, and there are rocks glasses and um, beer steins and just all manner of things on there. And all of the sales from that store goes directly back into our channel. It helps us cover things like Incarnate Pro, which I used to make this map that we're looking at right here. It helps cover Roll20 Pro and all the little minor subscriptions that all gang up on you at the end of the month and then become a big subscription. So if you'd like to help us make ends meet, we appreciate anything that you do, and go get yourself a T-shirt, and we thank you. All right, so myself leads you guys into the forest. Just not that we're gonna jump right into any kind of combat, but let's go ahead and have you guys roll initiative. Got a bunch of 8s. All right. Okay. Myself is leading you guys into this dense forest, and you guys are. It, it's pretty obvious that once you get into or off of this riverbank, you're going to need to be using your survival knives as like a machete kind of situation, because getting this place is just completely overgrown, exceptionally lush. Um, Everybody make a recon plus intellect check.
10.
Holy shit, Mel. Okay.
Pretty damn near close to perfect.
No doubt. So, Mel, you see some movement in the brush over here towards this direction. You can't. You see like you can see like the brush moving, and like something scurried through there really quick.
All right, call it out.
Okay. Set guns to rock and roll. Light up that bush.
I thought about it.
It's the predator. I saw him. God, these guys. Whatever. Shit, that's not bad. So a rock. Sarda got a 10. Let's see if it's got a 10. A rock lands right here in between Sarda and Bocephus. It doesn't look like it was. It was aimed low. Like it wasn't. It wasn't like it was. It was meant to hit or hurt you, but more to scare you away. And it wasn't thrown really hard, but it comes out of the trees over here.
Now can we light it up?
It's probably another one of these myself people.
Bocephus, what do you want to do?
I'm going to pull out my gauze pistol and just aim.
Okay. So you're just aiming over in that general direction?
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be, I'm covering Starda. If anything attacks Starda, I'm going to shoot it.
Okay.
Because he's the closest to the bullshit, might even say, I got your 6. Go poke the bush with your stick.
Looks dangerous. You go first.
Yeah.
Sarda, what are you doing?
You're muted.
I'm going to assume I'm in a vac suit, right? So
I mean, you don't really need to. I mean, this is a shirt sleeves environment.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
right,
I mean, it's up to you guys, but I mean, there's plenty of fresh air here.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'm probably still gonna be wearing my Diplo vest, and I don't know that a thrown rock's gonna be a real worry. Yeah, I'll look around for who threw it.
Okay. Go and make an investigate plus intellect check. And 11. So you are kind of move stuff around with your stone tip spear, and you don't you don't see anything there. If your your immediate thought would be, uh, that that whatever moved these brush was some kind of animal. But I mean, most animals aren't going to throw a rock. I mean, there's some that do, but whatever it was has already moved away. You do see with your 11, you do see a spot under some bushes where the undergrowth has been matted down. So something was here, uh, probably watching you, but has moved on.
All right.
Uh, Mel, what would you like to do?
I too am going to draw my Gauss pistol and just. I'm going to look elsewhere because I'm assuming the rock was to distract while someone's trying to flank.
Okay. You can also make an investigate plus. Yeah, you kind of see the same thing over in this direction. You can see where there are branches that have been broken, and you can in the soft ground, you can see that where it appears there's like large footprints. It's Bigfoot. But that's all you find. You don't find a creature.
I mean, are they off of a game trail? Like, I mean, they don't, unless they can teleport, they should have some, there should be some path where we can indicate where they might have gone.
We last time we life sensed, and there's only the one, right?
Only the one with intelligence was
Right.
detected within 5 click or five.
Right.
Yeah, around that island. I mean, you guys can do that again. Let's see. What do they want to do this time? They are. That was right awful. That was not any better. So from this direction and from this direction, a couple of rocks land. One lands over here. One lands over here. Um, like they were just kind of tossed, not thrown like a baseball or a dagger or anything, but just kind of tossed and landing in that area. 2 rocks this time.
And myself ain't doing nothing.
Myself, he is doing something. he, he find him and bring him up.
These little kids, they're really trying to hurt us. They
So
just suck.
he grabs his stone-tipped spear and kind of sets himself into a defensive crouch. Like he looks like he's ready to mix it up with somebody. And he's looking around, and you see him kind of you see him look at his skills again here. Okay. He Okay then. All right. He also going to investigate. he's he's kind of poking around up in this area, and he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He's moving up here, and you see him. Uh, he's not just moving branches or brush aside. He'll like move and then stab, and there's nothing there, and then he'll move and stab, and there's nothing there. Bocephus, what do you want to do?
Want to use my ring of invisibility, and yeah, I hear you. Well, he's moving out that way. I'm gonna. And go 6 meters, right?
You can move four hex. Yes, you can move 6 meters.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and I've got the map on, so the measurement tool does work.
All right. And I'm gonna kind of look in this direction on down the bank here.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, if I see something, I might shoot it, but probably not this round, I guess, because.
Well, you only
Let's
move
see.
4, right? So
Yeah,
let's see.
there's a 10 on the recon plus intellect.
Okay. Here.
If that's not what you wanted, I'm willing to.
No, that's fine. Yes. So you do finally see something. Hiding in the brush of this tree, you see a creature that I'm trying to think of how to put this. It does look like the same species as myself, but you can determine pretty much just you can see this from the eyes and from facial expression. Is that there is no there's I was gonna say sentience. There's a lack of self there. It is definitely it's definitely the same species, but a lower intelligence life form, and they look like this.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay, go for it.
I'm joking.
I mean, you
want
can.
to. I understand, but that's not really what we're about.
Prime directive, damn it.
Murder.
I don't know.
Face.
Can I try to animal handle it and coax it out?
Sure. How do you want to go about that? I mean, do you have kitty treats for it? What do you...
I mean, I'm sure we've got ration packs or something,
Oh,
and
definitely.
yeah, and so I'll pull out a piece of ration pack and I'll take a bite and go, good. And then I'll put it, down on a rock and I'll back away.
Okay.
With another minor action,
Go ahead.
And go, here, kitty, come eat it.
Go ahead, make an animal handling plus intellect check.
10.
That's pretty good. So,
well, I'm trained in animal handling. I spent time fucking with a monkey.
So he comes over here and kind of squats down and picks up your ration pack and sniffs at it and takes a bite and then spits it out and throws it at myself and like just starts getting pissed off. Sarda, what do you want to do?
This isn't the intelligent one, right?
The indulgent one is leading you guys, or he's your
Oh.
guide. He's over here, but they're the same species, but they're not. Something's different about these guys, or rather, something's different about myself. The rest of them are
Does
clearly
he
not.
look concerned? Does he look concerned about the fact that they're throwing things at us?
Yes, he whirls around and he's got his spear at the ready, like he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. He's prepared to defend himself.
I'll move to here. I think this is 4. Yeah. And I'm just gonna yell really loud at this guy, try to scare it off.
Okay.
Persuade.
I guess that would be persuade. I don't think there's an intimidate. I think that.
I don't think there is.
I mean, intimidation is just another form of persuasion, right? Go ahead and roll persuade plus social.
Aren't you proud of me not just going murder hobo though, sorta?
Ooh, a 13. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
You yell really loud, and it gets this guy's attention. He takes like a step back, like whoa.
That's right.
Yeah, he's like, he's kind of staying low to the ground, but he takes a 1.5 meter step back, and it's kind of baring his teeth. Mel, what would you like?
Well, again, doesn't seem like that huge of a threat. So, and as a single, but like goblins, right?
Right.
And 10 of them could be a hassle. So, I guess I'm the guy on the flank, right? I got a river behind me. Unlikely to be able to swim like a dolphin person. So I'm going to keep focus towards myself and to the west there.
Okay. Go ahead and make another recon plus intellect check.
Can't see shit.
Exactly the same. I rolled a 3 and a 2. And you rolled 3 or 2 2s. That doesn't tell me much either, does it? I'm going to say that since they match, you do see another one that has been flanking you. And he's down here. He no longer has a rock. You can see that he has they're calling it a stone knife, but I mean, what we're really talking about here is
A sharp rock.
a sharp rock. Yeah. And he's holding it with intent, and you spot him hiding kind of in these large ferns, eyeing you.
Huh. Well, then I am going to squeeze the shot sort of near his feet so he stops moving. I don't know if he's going to recognize this as a weapon, but he might. It's going to be loud as shit.
Well, Gauss pistols aren't really that loud. But I mean, it'll make a zip crack.
For a world without mechanicals.
That's true.
They're rail guns. They're rail guns. They're shooting. They're pretty silent.
Yeah, I would say there's probably like a single shot. You're gonna hear like the zip crack and
plus the impact at the ground somewhere near.
Right. I think that'd probably be enough. Go ahead and make a gun combat plus dex check. Gun combat slug plus.
I don't know if I've got. I mean, would that just be a roll? Click the roll button next to the Gauss machine gun, or would it be a skill roll?
I don't know. I know that.
Slug. Okay, got it right here.
Okay, so yeah, if you missed, there was a chance you might have hit him. depending on how badly you miss. But with an 8, you pull off a shot, and it hits the ground next to him, and he too jumps back, and you can see the surprised monkey look. Like there's some of these videos that you see online where somebody will surprise like a chimp or something, and they get this look. That's usually quite funny, although a little threatening at the same time, because they don't just get surprised, they're like, I'm surprised and now I have to kill it, kind of thing. And that's exactly the look on his face as he literally jumps back. And he lets out this screeching monkey hue and cry, and there is a return call throughout the forest, and immediately you see more of them pop up. And they make themselves known, or kind of stand up out of the brush. And this one here is going to throw a sharpened stick. And he hits myself.
It's on, I guess.
Yeah, he throws this sharpened stick, and it kind of grazes myself's shoulder, and enough that, I mean, you can immediately see that it's sharp enough that it's drawn blood. These guys. He is going to throw a sharp stick at Sarda. Hey, hit. So you've got a Diplo vest on, right?
Yeah, so that'll stop, 3 points?
So you take
3 points gets through.
Yeah, I mean, this thing sticks your shoulder. It's a very, very sharp stick. This guy moves to there, and he stops and is picking up the ration, part of the ration wrapper, and like just shreds it in front of you, like he's kind of trying to intimidate you. There's just an acre. All right. Myself does not appear like he is going to put up with this. He hmm, well, that's not good for him. He's going to throw his spear. So he is the ape nerd when it comes to fight. Whoops, There's a 2. Oh wait, I got it. So he throws his spear, and it goes, off into into the brush. Doesn't even come close to hitting. 1, 2, 3, 4. He comes back, stands between Bocephus and Sarda, and is pointing at these guys. Bocephus, what would you like to do?
I'm going to. I guess this guy right here. I'm going to aim and shoot.
All right. What are you setting your fire setting to? Single, burst, or auto?
I'm just going to do a single shot.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. We go from there. Here we go. All right, it's my slug is 1, and my dex is 1. There we go. I miss. Oh, I get +1 for aiming.
Sure.
Still miss.
Still miss. But you
Yeah.
light off a shot. That'll do. So you light off a shot. Did you want to move at all? Oh wait, you
I aimed.
aimed. Sarda, what would you like to do?
I'm getting pissed off. So myself's there. Like, this is the guy that shot me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him. I'll draw my stunner.
So stunner. So I did put everything in. If you can search the word chart in your journal, and I've got a ton of different gear and equipment charts listed here.
All right, I rolled snake eyes, so I don't know if that means something bad happens or not. But
oh god, it should, shouldn't it? A little bit of lag. We will say. Oh man, yeah, that was right awful. Okay. A 4. So you somehow pull the trigger and the stunner slips out of your hand and falls into this bush. And you see when it hits the bush, the foliage it's like a sponge, and it just kind of sinks into this mossy ground. You can't even see it. You know where it landed, but it's completely covered by this mossy ground. Did you want to move at all?
I don't think I can. I drew and shot.
Okay. Mel, what would you like to do this time?
Well, I'm hoping to get out of this with as little damage to the probably mostly peaceful locals. So that means I need to splatter one where the rest of them can see it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
That's an excellent frame of mind. Yes.
So I don't really know how to ping. It's
if you click and hold the mouse button down.
there you go. That's the guy I'm going to shoot.
Okay.
So I am going to. I can move 4. You said.
Yes.
Which should give me a nice straight line. And can I burst, or do I have to do a single shot if I move?
It's your choice, because I mean you're basically clicking a lever with your thumb.
All right. Well, then I'm going to burst at him.
Okay.
Do I roll 3 to 4 times? I auto 4.
So with burst, you would make a gun combat plus dex check, and if you hit, then you add the auto score to the damage.
Got it.
Oof.
Fuck.
Oh man. It's gonna be one of those nights. So you rip off a 4-round burst that goes pretty much over and around this guy. But
Does he shoot? Doesn't he make 4 attacks? I thought you'd make 4 attacks.
That's only for full auto.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you rip off a 4-round burst that goes around and over this guy. He that's strange. They don't have. He is completely, of course, startled by this, and he immediately takes off. Up to here. And the rest of these guys. These two are fine. What about these two? This guy right here also is feeling like he's entirely too close to all of this. And he takes off running. This guy. He bails. Now. Probably. No movement. Nope, no movement. Okay. So 3 of them took off running, and like they're not trying to be stealthy about it. They just bolt off into the forest. Myself. Is over here, kind of crouches down and draws his knife. His stone knife is a little bit better. It is basically a sharp rock, but it has actually been chipped like a piece of flint that's been chipped into the shape of a knife, and it's got a handle that's wrapped with leather of some kind or some kind of plant fiber to make a grippy handle. Clearly, he's the smarter of the group, but that's all he's doing. Bocephus, what would you like to do?
Be right back.
Looks like this guy right there is just coming right for me.
Yes.
Look out, he's coming right for us.
That's 13.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. Oh, what did you have your weapon set to?
Oh, I'm still single shotting.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a Giles pistol, so it's gonna give me 3D damage. Looks like.
I believe that's correct.
AP 3, auto
Pistol
2.
shirt. Standard Gauss pistol is 3D. Yes. AP3.
Yeah. And I get to add. What is that?
So +5 to damage.
There you go. That ain't too bad. 13.
Ouch.
It's AP3.
Well, they're naked, so.
Yeah.
So you rip off a shot and tag this guy, and he falls back and kind of rolls through the foliage, and it kind of he's looking down. You drilled him right in the chest, and he's looking down, and there is a clear 4 millimeter bullet hole in him from your Gauss round, and he's just kind of looking at it with eyes wide, like, "What the hell just happened to me?" Sarda, what would you like to do?
Are these guys running? Is this guy seem to be running too?
No, these two, this guy and this guy did not run.
Well, I'm going to shoot at this guy here
Okay.
with the old stunner.
Well, I've taken
You
his
dropped the
endurance
stunner.
down.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll pick it up or I'll look for it. Do I need to roll something to find it?
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigate plus intellect check.
Sure. Probably don't find it.
You do not find it.
All right. Well, I'll just keep looking for the rest of the round for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, roll 2 more of those. There we go.
Mel, what would you like to do?
I like over here. Pick it up.
I'm not seeing. So that they're withdrawing, but they're not fleeing, right?
These three up here are fleeing. They're like running blindly through the forest. But these two down here near you guys, especially the one that just got shot is kind of in shock at what just happened. They are not running yet.
All right, I'm gonna move back there, and I'm gonna take aim at that guy
Okay.
and wait to see if he bugs out. I don't want to kill more than I need to.
Okay. All right. So you've got an aim on this guy. So if you do pull the trigger, you'll get a +1. These guys. So first of all, these three. And then that's pretty good. These three all kind of dive into the foliage and disappear from view. Deal with something else here first. Brave. He is not. He's like, nope. This guy. Oh, this guy's like, nope. So another one on the opposite bank over here. He starts hooting and hollering and screeching out, but he's not coming any closer. Either he knows that jumping. He's smart enough to know that jumping into that river is going to make him. It's going to be disadvantageous to him. This guy. Is running forward. Mel, he's running directly for you. You can make your shot.
Okie dokie.
That is a hit.
With plus, I didn't add the +1. So
that's
I
a +1 to damage.
Right. So it's +1. Well, it's burst, so I add the auto, right? So
right. So it'll be +5 total.
Yeah.
So let's see. So that's 13 damage. and you rip off a 4-round burst into this guy, and he drops back as well, just falls flat on the ground, and there are 4 bullet holes in him. He's bleeding profusely. This guy is going to limp away. And myself, sure, why not? Damn untrained. He picks up one of the sharpened sticks and throws it across the river. It falls short of hitting its target. Bocephus, what would you like to do?
Well, the one that's across the thing throwing shit across the river.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. Fuck you, monkey man. That is
Yeah,
a
that's
hit
a
with
9.
a +1 to damage.
Oh, that's really a 10 because I'm aiming. I didn't do nothing else.
Okay, so yeah, that's
So-
+2 to damage.
Yeah. He'll take 12 points of damage.
Ouch. So you rip off a shot, and he drops to the ground, and you can see that he's still moving, just in utter shock of being. He's not quite sure what happened. He knows that he's hurting a lot. Starda, you find your stunner.
Okay. This guy here seems to have moved.
Yeah, he's limping away.
I think this fight's pretty much over. I mean, so I'll move next to myself. If someone looks hostile, I'll shoot him.
Okay.
But I think this fight's over.
Okay. Mel, what would you like to do? You gonna make an example?
Probably not. The question is, do we patch him up? I got a guy probably bleeding out in front of me.
Yeah, he has. I will tell you. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to say. Let's see how badly he is. He will die unless given prompt medical assistance. Let's see about the other one. So this guy and this guy will both die unless given prompt medical assistance. This guy down here, same. You got 3 of them that are bleeding out and are going to cack it.
Good times.
High five. Beers all around. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Do you want to try to go up to him and patch him up, or?
I think I'm going to try, though I'm fully expecting him to fight like a wounded animal.
Right. Have you ever tried to help an injured feral cat? It's a lot of fun, let me tell you. So you move over to this guy. Do you have how do you want to go about this? Because before you even are able to do a medic check, you're going to need to. I don't know if you want to grapple him and call for Bocephus sticking him up, but how do you want to do it? I mean, you could do like an animal handling, or
Let me peruse my skills. Untrained animals. Nope.
See, this is the thing that I liked about this when I read this is that this is one of those adventures where a lot of those skills that you guys very rarely ever really use can come into play. Animal handling, survival checks. You know, you guys are out in the bush, so almost anything can be at play here.
I mean, I've got medic, right? How do I fucking do this?
Yeah, I mean, you could just immediately go up and try. You know, I've been assuming you have at least a first aid kit on you. I mean, I would guess you might have a med kit. You probably have a similar med kit. What rank of medic do you have?
1.
It's hard to believe that we
But
would
it
go
is
into the
education.
bush.
Without med kit? Well, I mean, I know Bocephus
Yeah.
would have a med kit.
But I mean, anybody with basic first aid
Yeah.
skills would have one. I would. think
Yeah, I
better
mean,
than
an
standard
improved
pack.
first aid kit. Man, first aid kits suck. I would say that you probably have you would have an advanced med kit. I mean, that's pretty much available to you guys.
Now,
So
we
it gives you a +3 on your medic check. But keep in mind, I mean, this guy's
Let's just say I might be leading with the sedative.
right. Sure.
he ain't got that much fight left in him, man. You know, it'll be all right.
That's probably true. Go ahead and make a melee unarmed plus your choice, either strength or dex.
You're grappling.
Yep. Hey, you did it. Well, I guess I gotta. Ugh, yeah. You did it. Go ahead and make a. So you grapple this guy and jab him with a sedative, and he is out. He almost immediately goes limp. Next, you can make a medic plus intellect check.
And the suit gives not the suit. The
The
kit
kit-
gives 3.
Correct. Ooh.
Go education skill.
Okay.
Oh, that ain't bad at all, dude.
No. So, well, I'm going to mark him as being unconscious. So he is unconscious from the sedative, but you are able to retrieve use forceps, and you're pulling out Gauss rounds and kind of gauzing him up and patching him up, on the spot. Hominids. And this guy. This said, if they. Oh, man. Okay. Ugh. This guy crawls off into the woods and dies.
Dum dum dum.
This guy, he does not die, but he is very badly wounded, and he's crawling away, leaving a trail behind him. Myself, he starts to move over towards the hominid that just died. And he's got a very somber, sad look about him. Like he's not happy about this at all. Bocephus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk over to Sarda and perform first aid.
Okay. +3 from your kit. Medic plus education or intellect.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get another +2 due to my educational status. So
Yep.
16.
16.
That's more than
healed.
fully. I'm fully healed.
Yeah, so
yeah.
he goes
I was
over
only
and
down
sticks like
3.
one staple in your arm. There you go, you're fine.
This probably just gives me a bunch of cocaine. Knowing Bocephus.
Knowing him, yeah. Like, wow, my arm stopped bleeding and my dick's really hard.
Well, I replaced everything in his med kit with glitter bombs. Oh yeah,
Perfect.
Sort of.
awesome.
What would you like to do now that you're feeling better?
This one over here is dying too. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I feel bad. I think it's a full round for me to walk over there, or if I have to jump the river.
I mean,
Yeah, I would say
if
you
you
can
don't
get
know
over
how
there.
to swim and shit. Oh well, he lets you cross.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
yeah.
go ahead and make a. That's a good question.
I'll go
so
after you, Sarda. It's okay. I
I
swim
mean, I
great.
can make a jump. I mean, it's 9 meters across. Right? It's 1.5. Right?
Yeah, go ahead and make a.
Each of these is 1.5
Yeah.
meters. So this thing's a total of 3 meters across.
Yeah, I would say you could probably jump 3 meters. That's not hard to do. So you get over there. This
Not hard to do a 9-meter jump.
3 meters.
No, 3 meter jump.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no,
It's
not
9
9
feet.
meters.
9 meters. Yeah, that's Olympics, but 3 meters.
I mean,
Depends on the gravity.
each square is 1.5 meters, so it's about 2 squares across, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a choke point in here, so.
All right, so I managed to leap. I got over there, and I probably can get my medical kit out, but that's it
Yes.
for the round.
Yes. So you get over there. Mel, you've got this. I mean, this guy's patched up as well as you're going to be able to do it. I mean, he could do with some time in a sick bay, which isn't really an option right now because you guys are in the deep forest, and the canopy of this forest is so thick and heavy that a ship couldn't get down. Even an air raft can't get in here, which is why you're on foot. So what would you like to do?
Are we just gonna leave these guys here? Like, what's the plan?
Well, I mean, I don't really know what we can do with them.
Stack them up like cordwood at the edge of a battlefield?
I mean, we could decapitate them and put their heads on pikes.
As a warning to the others.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I really tried not to go all murder hobo. So I mean, and I already shot them, a couple of them. But I mean, after missing, you got to make sure the gun's really working right. Is it the sights or is it me? And so you shoot again. And oh well, that one does. And then you got to go best 2 out of 3.
So you guys
That
see,
is an approach.
you guys see myself come over, and he over to the dead one, and he puts his hand on the dead one's chest and kind of closes his eyes for a minute, and then almost like he's praying, and then gets up and comes back and rejoins you guys, and you can see that he's very sad about this, but he looks and points at Bocephus's gun, and he goes, and he goes, and he kind of flexes his muscles over his head. Clearly, it looks like he's jealous of your equipment versus his stone knife.
Well,
That sounds like a personal problem to fucking me. I mean, we gave him a hatchet.
Sarda, you can go ahead. That's true. He does have the hatchet too. Sarda, you can go ahead and make a medic plus intellect or education check, and you get a +3. Okay.
Healed him for 5. And I'll make sure he looks comfortable.
Yeah, he's unconscious. You heal him up as best you can. I mean, probably pretty comfortable. I mean, the forest floor here is pretty spongy and soft, so I mean, looks cozy. Uh, so I mean, yeah, I mean, you guys kind of regroup.
Oh, whoa! Now I was waiting my turn.
Oh, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna go hit this motherfucker with a trauma pack.
The dead one?
It says I can technically bring back somebody that's dead if it's right after trauma pack, page 91.
Yep, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Trauma pack is a vital device carried by battlefield medics and first responders, small satchel of chemicals and drugs used to pump life back into a wounded body.
So go ahead and make a medic plus education or intellect check. I guess education.
Yeah. All right, so 4 plus my education is 2, which is 6. Here we go. 13.
Okay. Let's see. It says, and then roll 1d. Ew. Huh? He isn't dead.
And then I'm going to do first aid.
All right, go ahead and make another medic plus education check.
And I get to add 2 for my med kit.
3 plus 3.
3. All right. That'll be 18.
Okay. So that's
So it's basically like I hit him with the shock paddles, boom, and then whip out and, oh, he's not dead yet, man. We're just slap him across the face, don't give up, bitch. And then,
okay. Yeah, you bring him. You essentially hit him with the paddles and dose him with a bunch of stems and bring this guy back, and then you kind of patch him up. He's not completely healthy, obviously, but and honestly could do with some time. Again, probably could do with some surgery, but he's not dead. He is unconscious, but he's not dead.
I think.
How far did we? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think we ought to drag these guys over and, try to make little beds for them and maybe build a fire. And I mean, we did all this medical work on them now. I feel obligated to try to get them back up and running.
So myself kind of comes over and watches what you're doing. At first, the look on his face almost like one of disgust that you are violating a dead body kind of thing. And then he sees the guy,
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, you are in for quite the education. He sees the guy kind of jerk to life and sees that he's breathing, and you patch him up, and myself is completely in awe of this. He take a look here. He has
The dolphin
science
taketh away.
Science observed natural science. He's not quite sure what he's witnessed, but he knows that you brought this guy back to life. And so he's not sure if if you have reanimated a corpse for some reason, or
That's the wrong character.
wrong game.
Yeah, my necromancer is on Saturday.
Yeah, he's not sure if you have reanimated a corpse, Frankenstein style, or if you have somehow healed him. But he's in absolute awe, a little bit scared of you.
Yeah,
So
it's okay.
how long have we been walking? I had just gotten the impression we had just started following him.
Yeah, pretty much. You're about 2 hours into the jungle.
All right, and there's not a clearing by this river big enough for us to pop smoke. Call me medevac.
You probably no, because the canopy. So it's funny that I was just reading this in another role-playing game. They go into different terrain types. This particular terrain type, you're talking about a tree canopy that's actually like 3 canopies deep. So there would be no way for. There's no clearing here that I mean, maybe you could pop smoke over on this little island at the base of the falls here, and the smoke would get up, but there's really nowhere that like a Vendara or your ship could get down to.
Do none of our craft have hover ability and say a winch like a sea medevac?
Not really a winch, but you guys do have. I mean, there are like grav belts. I mean, it's not like if you were to drop in here that they would just lower you down on ropes. I mean, that's far too low tech. They would just go ahead and give you guys a grav belt, and you could carefully make your way to the ground that way. So I suppose I guess technically it is a possibility you could pop smoke and radio Pappy to come hover, and some of your guys could come down and grab these 3 if that's what you wanted to do.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Will I have time to put first aid on myself
Sure.
during all? That's 15.
All right. So that's +7 back. So
Not me, myself. The myself,
yes.
monkey man.
Right. Yes, you heal him up completely, and he lets you do it, and but he's got this look of caution, watching you do it the entire time. Like the look on his face is one that it's not like he could do anything to stop you if he tried. So he completely understands that you guys are way more technologically powerful than he is. And
I'm just trying to top him off in case we get ambushed by these dumb folks again.
Right. So yeah, you were able to heal him up, and you guys pop smoke and radio into Pappy, and Pappy's able to come over. And are you having him take these 3 back to Revelation for med surgery, or to the med base for surgery, or?
Sounds like a great idea.
I mean, what's your plan here? Take him back to a base camp, or?
Oh, I don't.
There's Mel's call there.
Do we really want to take him to space?
Blindfold him and gag him and handcuff him. Don't let him know they're in space. They'll be fine. And they're unconscious.
Well, I mean, they need medical attention, surgery, med bay time. Maybe if you sedate the living fuck out of them, they're not going to know where they are. Fucking,
I'm less concerned about the chimps than I am with the proto-hominid here. Right, 'cause I know there's no, from what I've read so far in Traveler, clearly no prime directive, but I don't know if we want to bring this guy to space.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just thinking they were going to come pick him up and take him. I mean, I'm sure we've got a nice little setup at a base camp that has, a makeshift
My
First
theory-
hate tent.
My theory was that if he's the only one that has a higher intelligence on this planet, he might appreciate going with us. That was my only thinking.
Yeah,
I didn't realize there were a whole bunch of these animal intelligence guys running around too. I thought it was just sort of him by himself, and I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, he clearly is suffering from loneliness. And he was the only one living out on those islands by himself, and he stays away from these guys for obvious reasons. I mean, they tried to kill him.
I think we ought to go and do our best to do what, I mean, like what most humanitarian type people that ended up hurting an animal would do.
Right. So
You try to patch it up as best you can and not let it go until it was healed enough, to survive on its own.
Okay.
And I mean, that's my theory is, sedate the living fuck out of all of them,
I
have
agree.
them picked up, take it to Deepnight, and when they're ready to be re-released, we, re-release them, but they never come conscious during the whole time,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is what Pappy will do. He does inform you guys that, and I'll show this other map.
I've been waiting to use a trauma pack for fucking about 8 years of Traveler.
I know, right? It's funny because I had completely forgot that those even existed. So Pappy does tell you that. So you guys are in this location, and he tells you that that Revelation has brought down 2 other landing teams. They are doing some archaeological stuff at the ruins in Really Big Marsh, or I'm sorry, in the Menagerie Plains, and then there is a zoological team that is basically studying some of the flora and fauna over here in Really Big Marsh. So there's 2 different groups, and these, I mean, they're quite a distance. Oh, they didn't put a scale on here. I think. Oh, here it is. 1,149 kilometers per hex. So, I mean, these 2 camps are separated by a distance, but it's not so great. I mean, they can a pinnace or a boat or a scout can cover that distance in nothing. So, but there are these 2 others. So there are base camps, but I mean, I don't know if a base camp's going to have a good surgical theater. And all 3 of these guys need surgery. So
then they need to go to Deepnight.
okay.
I mean, that's what it is. Just keep them sedated. They will never know that they've been to space.
Okay.
If we do it right, I mean, we can put some anal lube on them and make it a little sore there, and that way they'll think they've been probed and
draw dicks on their faces,
Yeah.
So
some tattoos.
So Pappy goes ahead, loads these guys up. Him and Stimpy load these guys up, and into the scout, and he tells you he will be back. Basically, it's going to be a touch and go, just long enough to drop them off, probably refuel real quick, and then come back down for you guys.
Sounds fun. I'd also like to see if man, there's a ship. There's a ship that crashed or something. It got nuked, and the nukes. We don't believe that the radiation is no longer a factor. I mean, I'd really like to have somebody figure out a game plan on excavating that out. I mean, how long will that take? Do we have the capability?
So not. I mean, it would take way longer than you really want to be here. Because I mean, you're literally talking about excavating into the base of a mountain. Your densitometers did pick up that there were alloys scattered throughout that landslide. Bring up that map. So the landslide zone, the densitometers when you flew over picked up that there were manufactured alloys deep in here, but you're talking about, half a mountain is what you'd have to excavate in order to get to them. And there was discussion about, can we use the fusion guns on Deepnight? Well, yes, but it would also destroy the alloys or whatever's in there. So probably not. But as you guys spend another, so he picks him up, and you guys spend another 5 hours following myself through the jungle, but you don't have any more contact with the hominids. You always feel like somebody's watching you the entire time. But after the 5-hour hike through the jungle, you climb up the mountain into this cave that has a pretty good view of the valley. And in this cave, well, first of all, everybody make a recon plus intellect check.
9. Mel is the one.
Yes. Well, all of you got it. So, but you'll all find varying degrees of shit. So, Sarda, the first thing that you notice when you come into this cave is that the cave itself, the floor of the cave, there are numerous skeletons of these hominids. And all of them seem to have damage directly to the skull. Like serious blunt force trauma where the skull has been cracked open by some weighty object, probably a rock. Bocephus, you go a bit further and see that there seems to be almost like it's not carved in any way, but there is a large rock, a boulder that has been stacked on top of 2 other smaller boulders, almost forming like an altar, and it is bloodstained. So whatever happened here probably happened on this large rock. But evidently the bodies were just left. And there are a number of these hominid ape-like skeletons laying around. When I say a number, there's quite a few. There's about 10 of these bodies laying around here. And you note that, well, go ahead and make it. Do you have? Hold on. I need to look at my broad skills. Do you have? Interesting. Go ahead and make a. Just go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
13.
Okay. You note that all of these bodies are vastly different ages. Like the oldest of these 10 bodies that you find, it looks like it's hundreds of years old. Or skeleton, rather. Another skeleton you find looks like it's maybe only about 35 years old. So you're seeing a vast difference in age between these skeletons.
Huh.
Finally, kind of shining your light, Mel, you look on the wall of this cave, and you can see that it is covered in pictographs. And it basically is telling a story of a recorded history. And what this recorded history is showing is you can see clearly what they are depicting in the first pictograph. It looks like the ruins from Menagerie Plains, but it's drawn in such a way that it looks like a map and a marker for a city. And it appears that there are things, what can only be described as, or your immediate first thought when you see these is they look like ships that are coming down and landing and taking off from the city. And then the next pictograph, you see the city, but there's no ships. And then the next pictograph shows it shows a number of stick figures that you're figuring are probably the hominids, and it shows some of them acting in animal-like ways, crawling on all fours, and others that are kind of holding their hands up to the sky. The next pictograph shows even more of these stick figures crawling around on all fours in an animal-like fashion, and it shows a line of smaller stick figures on a map that goes all the way to what appears to be the high valley that you're in. And then there is a pictograph of what looks like a large explosion and the mountainside collapsing in, sealing off the high valley. And the last pictograph shows that the last set of pictographs shows that they built these cities, or a city, on these 3 islands in the middle of this lake. But it continued, the more animalistic of the stick figures becomes larger and larger until there are only a few of these stick figures that are standing upright, holding their hands up to the sky. And the last pictograph kind of shows that these animalistic ones, the less intelligent ones, whenever there is an intelligent one that's born, they're either pushed out of the tribe and exiled, or they are brought here and executed by the animalistic one.
So I guess myself's going with us.
And myself is kind of standing there, and he is touching these pictographs reverently, and kind of he goes and he tries to fix a skeleton so that it looks like it's more together and comfortable, or he's doing everything reverently. But it's clear that all of these dead skeletons, according to these pictographs, these are all smart ones like him. And he kind of looks around. He looks at you guys and he goes,
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. This place used to be fucking had a fucking low port, man. For these pictographs.
Mel, you can make a investigate plus intellect check as well. So looking closer at the pictograph of when they made the pilgrimage here to the High Valley and blew up the pass, there is what appears to be some of these stick figures are carrying what appears to be a device. Like there's several of them that are kind of holding, the picture shows them holding it over their head. And then in the pictograph, it shows that it's kind of in the middle of this largest island. And your immediate thought is it looks like some kind of portable or some kind of power generator. or an arc, one or the other.
You're muted.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Weird. That's definitely needs to be checked out.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, it clearly we need to go here. The question we also need to solve is, does this guy come with us? I mean, what's he going to do on a fucking spaceship?
He's clearly
Not gonna-
He's
Not
clearly
going to get his
smart.
head cracked open.
Well, I mean, we don't have to take him with us. We have some people who want to stay here that we're going to unload before it's all said and done. And maybe him and the couple of people we live with him can liberate the other smart monkey men and, do stuff.
Interspersed with these, the other pictographs about the High Valley too, you see that it seems that the hominids, right after they made their journey here, it seems that they did extensive hunting, and you see some of these pictographs of what looks like elephants, and you see some pictographs of things that look like tigers. Well, they've already identified that there's some type of woolly mammoth here, and there is some type of what appears to be a saber-toothed tiger. And according to these pictographs, it looks like they hunted this valley to the point of extinction. So the only predators that are left after they kind of collapsed that pass were the hominids themselves. So they were smart enough to realize the danger and to remove it. And they just kind of sealed themselves in here.
Yeah, they've got some little safe valley, and I'm sure the guys that are in the other part, outside of this little protected zone might not have it as easy as we do. Right.
Well, it doesn't look like there is any. At least not the hominids outside of this safe zone.
Right, but I mean, we have other crews that are out there
Oh, right.
outside of this safe zone, and I'm thinking they're catching flack from the local predators and stuff. I mean,
Very likely.
I would think.
Very likely.
Yeah. So that's good news.
So, yeah, he shows you all of this, and I mean, you guys are having your conversation about what to do with him, and he clearly doesn't quite understand, but he's turning his head, watching each of you as you're talking. He, kind of wondering what to do next.
I think we ought to go look down at where their old generator is, and I mean,
Okay.
I'm trying. Don't y'all think that we'd have a lot better time figuring out what the fuck to do with these people if we figured out who the fuck these people are first?
Probably.
Oh.
So getting back out takes you guys about another 9 hours. It is very dark by the time you get back out to a point where Pappy is now back down, and you're able to radio and pop smoke, and he's able to pick you up and kind of sets you guys back down in the middle of these what were the lake cities. And you spend the night on the ship, and myself goes back over to his little hut and kind of makes his home, back into his little shelter. You spend the night. Nothing too interesting happens. Sarda, you can make an electronic sensors plus intellect check.
Sure. Oof, rolled poorly. 11.
So your two things. The first part of it is, I mean, of course, if the power source is what you're looking for, the sensors do detect that there is technology here buried in the silt, years and hundreds of thousands of years worth of silt is covering up some kind of high-tech alloys. You're picking up some radiological signatures. When you look at this, it looks like a really old according to the sensors in your densitometer, to you, it looks like a really old fusion reactor. Like almost a little bit bigger than what you would term as a portable fusion generator that are given to like colonies and things like that. That's what appears to be. That's what these readings are coming back as. The densitometer is detecting that it's down there a couple of meters under the silt. Wouldn't be impossible to dig it up though. The other thing throughout the night your sensors are picking up is that kind of along this northern shoreline, the sensors do pick up a lot of movement, but they don't come into the lake itself. But clearly, you are being watched. I mean, that's a long distance, but they are clearly the hominids know where you're at, but they don't seem to. They're not capable of making like a canoe or anything, but they know where you're at. But they're not a danger. So the next morning, you guys wake up. Do you want to start an excavation or call in another couple of ships, or how do you want to go about this?
I mean, do you guys want to excavate it, or do you want to delegate? That's it. We can play Parade of the Ewoks.
Let's get some people who are actually anthropologists, scientists, that this is their actual specialty, because otherwise they'll be pissed off that we didn't involve them from the beginning. Then they'll be pissed off that we did a shitty job.
Then there'll be another mutiny.
Yeah.
We did the important thing. We got spears thrown at us. We shot at people.
Yeah.
Let's bring the real scientists down to have them look at things, and if they need help, we'll help them. But I think
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, you do that. Let's see.
You think we could teach them Yub Nub?
So yeah, over the next 3 days, a pinnace comes down with a archaeological team, and they find about 3 meters down into the silt. They have to first of all come up with an idea, and so the idea that these archaeologists came up with is to actually use the fuel pumps on the pinnace that would normally be used for cracking water. They use that to pump the water out of the lake as they dig, so that this hole stays dry. This, of course, means that this pinnace is going to need to spend some time in the cradles getting their filters cleared out, but it works. And they dig down, and they do find about 3 meters down. They find a very alien-looking device. It is probably about. Trying to think about. It's probably about. It's probably about 10 feet in diameter. And it is very curved. Time has not been kind to it, obviously. And it looks like at one point that it was housed inside the remnants, now the remnants of what was a wood hut. But the device itself is on a solid metal base and is very, very curved and ornate. All of you. Let me look here. So anybody who wants to can make a social sciences or a science archaeology plus intellect or education check.
I have neither of those, so
Go with social sciences with education, getting
Okay.
a 9.
Okay. So Bocephus.
That can't be right. I have to roll 2 and take the worst one. Is that what I'm doing? Like
No,
disadvantage?
so it would if you don't have social sciences broad skill or archaeology or science archaeology, you would be at -3.
All right. So that would be 6.
That's still not that bad. So Mel, you look at this thing, you can obviously tell it's old. The first thing that comes to your mind is it doesn't look like anything that you've seen from charted space. It doesn't look like anything that is used by the Imperium. I mean, you know what this thing probably is, but you've never seen anything like it or a design like it. Bocephus, you check it out. You are in agreement that this is definitely a fusion reactor. You immediately can tell from the soil and the remnants of the wood hut that it was housed in that this thing is about 300,000 years old.
Sweet Jesus.
And
We need to get its technical level down is what we need.
Well, the markings on it, you've seen the markings before. I need to find this. It looks like this. But it does not, unlike the previous markings that you've seen like this, it doesn't give off any kind of psychic flash to you. But this thing's marked with these symbols all over it. Now, in addition to that, out of this thing, if you guys were to just take it apart, so I mean it's covered in these ancient rock carving symbols that do not give off any psionic stuff. But if you were to just tear it apart, you could get 17 exotic materials out of, or I'm sorry, 17 rare materials out of it, and 4 exotic materials.
But can we get like specs out of this thing?
Well, if you were to bring it back to Revelation and allow the science division to study it, they could get some insights. I don't know that they would be able to replicate it, but they could learn from it. Possibly giving you guys some greater technical know-how moving forward.
See, I'm thinking that this is a drawing expedition or something, and these 8 men were their servants.
You're close. From what you can determine, this is clearly of ancient origin. This reactor.
It needs to be studied. I mean, to use it for materials right now without studying it is irresponsible.
We found a black globe generator. No. So yeah, this is clearly of Ancient's origin. It's covered in symbols similar to the droin carvings that you found, and it is clearly of Ancient's origin. That's what you know at this point. But they would need to take it back aboard Revelation to get more information on it.
And then, if that ship that's in the landslide is an ancient ship with lots of ancient tech, is it now worth excavating?
So there's no indication that there's a ship at the landslide. The indication from the rock pictographs that you saw was that the hominids, when they came in here, they lit off a couple of thermonuclear devices that caused the landslide. The alloys that you detected with the densitometer flying over it probably leftover, or if there's anything left over, probably casings from the devices. Possibly could be from fusion of some of the material in here. But it's not the original thought. When they first surveyed the planet, they thought that this was a good suitable spot for mining because of the radiological readings that they were getting. Well, the radiological readings are because of nuclear decay from the bombs.
Okay.
So you've got you have, it took about 3 days, but you have excavated out this fusion reactor. And like I said, they would have to take it back to Revelation. But the mining operation is still going on the second planet. And so that you're going to be here probably a couple more weeks while that mining operation is going on. And you've got these 2 other sites to explore. So, I mean, there's a whole slew of stuff in the Menagerie Plains site, and of course the really big plains, or I'm sorry, really big marsh. So, we will pick up next week with where you want to focus your interests next, down here on DTP, and over that time, of course, the scientists will be going over this Ancient's fusion reactor.
Sounds fun.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
I had a lot of fun.
We will pick this up next week at 6 o'clock on Friday night. Reminder for Wes, no game tomorrow. Since you sound like you're getting a little bit better, but if Cameron thinks today was the worst part of it, she's definitely going to need tomorrow off. That flu sucks, man. I had it. It sucks.
Right. It'd be cool to have Brian back anyway for all of it, you know?
Right.
Especially because we're getting ready to get the treasure map, and that's experience, and
yes,
he needs it like the rest of us.
Yes, that's true. So yeah, we will pick it up next week where we can all get together and all be dosed up on NyQuil.
Good night.
All right, have a good night, guys. I'll see you next week.
Take care, all.